But yeah, everyone's getting busted now, man. Shit.
Okay, well, we'll do a quick MMA portion then. Um, John Jones, Brock Lesnar,
Brock
Chad
Lesnar doesn't give a
Mendes.
shit. I don't know. I don't even know why they tested Brock because like
I mean,
everyone.
he's only looked the best he's ever looked ever, and he's at like 38. He didn't look human, man. It's
That's right.
so yeah. Was there any UFC stuff happening during Evo? I kind of feel like there,
um,
like whatever it's called, a fan expo or
there
something.
was probably no, nothing like that. No, no.
There was
200 was the week before, so they had some like
that's when I
some
was
bummy fight night.
that's when I was commentating
Yeah,
three events. Like I caught up as soon as I got home. Like when I reached the airport in Tokyo, I was like UFC Fight Pass. Da, 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 da. Caught up on all that shit. Because I don't know if you remember when once you get into the airport, like to get into the city is quite a while, right? It's like an hour and a half or so. So
is it?
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you got to Tokyo once you got to the airport, but
Which
or
airport is it? Nah,
Narita,
Narita.
Narita,
Yeah,
or
Narita.
or Haneda, maybe if
No,
you go
it
there.
was Narita. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naruto Airport. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's doing steroids, man. I mean,
Dude, you know
at
what?
least
Right?
everyone is
Can we just
being.
go back to fucking Pride and just let it all ride, man? Just let it all hang out. I just want to see fucking, Kevin Randleman and Fedor Emelianenko tearing each other's heads off. Wanderlei Silva not feeling any pain. You know, like Shogun in his prime. Overeem used to be middleweight, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, skinny Overeem before
That's
he found horse meat and growth hormone. Um,
well, there's something to be said about that, but just like Bison getting mad buffs, I like to live in reality. So,
yeah.
if that's what we have to do, at least
Do
we.
you think? Do you think they sold up knowing that all this shit was going to happen?
I think there's a very high possibility. I think there's a high possibility that Brock got brought in to kind of dangle the carrot in front of them to get the purchase finalized, and
Mm.
then didn't really care if he popped or he didn't. But I mean, we're never gonna
Did
get the answers to
you
that,
think that they were aware that like half the roster was going to piss red hot? Because if I'd have bought the company and this shit was happening, I'd be pissed. But like they must have known because like USADA is a lot more stringent than their, you know,
I mean,
nudge, nudge, wink, wink drug testing policy that they used to have.
they are
Sure, Vito.
definitely doing good things, but not good things per se for the UFC. We can put it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally don't mind because I like to have faith in humanity. I would like to hope that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is this magical and this amazing, and if he ever pops, oh man, I'm gonna go crazy, man, because that guy's an awesome fighter.
Listen, Anderson Silva fucking failed, and so like everyone can fail. Everyone can fail, even the best in the world. I'll be
Like
interested to see like how the guys in the Turn of Millennium, Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture must have been on everything. There's no way he was in that shape at like 40 years old. He must have been on everything.
a lot of people don't bring it up either. I mean, if they don't have, you have. I mean, at the same time, you gotta give it to them. You can't. They pass every single drug test, so they as
John
in
Cena. John Cena has never failed a drug test for the WWE.
totally
Just
not
put that
true.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on the road 350 days a year, and he still
and he
looks
can
like he's
he
at the
can speak
finals for
Mandarin.
like,
He can
and
speak
he can
Mandarin.
speak Mandarin. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. He is Superman.
Yeah, but it does kind of suck that this is happening lately, but it is what it is, and maybe 5 years down the road, we're gonna see everyone clean, no problems, fight cards being advertised, and we're actually gonna be able to see them like we
Mm.
hoped. John Jones in DC.
Does this not like put things in perspective about guys getting done for like marijuana though? Because that's ridiculous.
That's just
You not think it's
they're just not
ridiculous?
educated. I mean, to be fair, a lot of countries out there aren't really educated. They see marijuana as that drug that you saw at the in the early '90s or late 80s where it can kill you if you smoke it too much. Yep. Yeah, but at least they're changing that. They changed the dosage down. I don't know what the exact numbers are. Nick Diaz is coming back later this month, by the way.
Yeah.
Suspension ends soon. It's almost as if I know the same about MMA as I do about the FGC.
How do you think CM Punk's going to do in 203?
I think it doesn't matter. I don't have any expectations. I think they're going to make money, and that's one of the more important things. And I think there's a good chance that he can lose. But if he wins, good for him.
How old is he? 36? 38? How old is he?
He's late 30s. Late 30s for sure. I want to say 37 though, but
jeez.
Yeah. And I do believe Mickey is not old either. I mean, not either. He's not old, so it's pretty much in his favor, I would say.
6'4", 7'3", do you reckon?
Who? CM?
What's the matchup?
6'4", sure.
Yeah, strong 6'4".
A really strong 6'4". Yeah. Let's go 6.5 then, because because you don't see anything from CM Punk. You don't see any training videos. So what can you really expect?
I know he goes hard with the BJJ, but I don't know.
He's still white belt though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are things that you're looking forward to in the future, MMA related? Crow Cop playing Pokemon Go in Tokyo, even though it's not possible until today.
Yeah, it's out now.
Yeah.
Have you downloaded it? Have you installed it on your phone?
Yeah, I do get why it's the craze. It's just when you don't have shit to do, you just do this and you do this and it's fun. Like I'm collecting something that I don't give a fuck about. Yeah, awesome, cool.
What do you think about the fact that they've got like corporate sponsored Pokestops now as well? Like McDonald's are actually paying them to have like Pokestops.
I think it's fucking genius. I think this is going to be like the future.
I saw a really interesting thing about like someone saying, well, like if you've got a small business like a cafe or a restaurant or something, like if you spend like $100 a week, on coins and just buy lures and just keep dropping lures in your venue. Just bring the custom in, man. Just bring the custom in. If I ran a LAN cafe, if I ran Esports Square, I would be dropping lures every fucking hour in that place.
Hold on, I'm gonna make a phone call real quick because that's fucking genius.
There you go. You can have that one for free.
Woo! No one's gonna hear about this.
But yeah, Pokemon. Everyone was fucking doing that shit at Evo, man. Everyone was doing that shit at Evo.
A lot of people are gonna die, like without
just
a doubt.
Like looking around like this.
I think I'm really experienced with doing that, but I do catch myself sometimes like, oh fuck, I'm like a little bit too into this right now. Yeah. Yeah, but it's definitely pretty addictive. Are you playing it? For sure, you're playing it.
Not really.
Yeah, you're playing it. Whatever. Really. You don't have work today. You're gonna go fucking roam around London.
I was thinking of using it like when I go for a jog, like if I do my road work, see what comes up. Interesting.
I don't know how it is for other people because it just came out today, and I like opened it up and I was like, oh shit, there's like landmarks and gyms like everywhere. Like,
oh yeah, like, I live in fucking middle of nowhere though, so there's jack shit for me. But like in the middle of Tokyo, I can imagine it's like bing, 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 everywhere. So
it's a good excuse to just wander around.
Yeah, I saw a funny tweet the other day. It was like, oh, the weather's bad. I can't go outside and play video games. That made me laugh.
It's true in this case though.
Let's get back to video games anyway, because I'm sure no one cares about us doing a Pokemon Go podcast.
Bullshit. You guys leave comments on the bottom and let us know if you want to hear more, okay? And more MMA, more Pokemon, less Street Fighter 5.
I don't know more.
I bet you there's going to be some comments now.
How about that Dizzy? Yeah. I don't know about Guilty Gear either at all.
Yeah, she doesn't wear any clothes and Yipes is using her on
Isn't she like 8 years old or something as well? So,
yeah.
Apparently. That's why I stay away from anime fighters.
Yeah.
Air dashers. Sorry. Yeah, so Jury's out in 4 days.
Yep.
Do we know when Jury's coming out or not?
Well, I mean, he's next, obviously. Like I had a suspicion they're gonna come out on the same
time.
Yeah, because I thought like it would be like a really nice announcement to make at Evo. You
Mm.
just proper timing and everything, but there wasn't much of an announcement other than like something that we were suspecting was
You can
gonna
get
happen.
M license stage.
True, true. But I mean, come on, man. That's like easy mode shit. Like just bring the nostalgia up.
Pay $25 for a wrestling ring and a couple of colors. Do that.
Should we talk about that? I mean, we can talk for hours
Yeah,
about this thing.
yeah. I don't mind.
All
Let's
right.
talk
So
about.
so
I
for the
think the pricing's like. I think the pricing is absolutely disgusting.
so for people that don't know, um, during Evo they announced that you can get an Evo wrestling ring stage,
So it's the
and
Capcom Pro Tour pack
yeah, and
DLC.
you can get some
The Ring of Destiny.
sweet female costumes. Chun Li, Cammy, Karen.
Karen, yeah.
Karen's a summer outfit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost the same price as the game. It's pretty similar.
It's $25. It's the same price as a season pass, I think.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
guessing because I only know what it is in pounds. It's 19.99 on the pre-ascend store in pounds, which is the same price as I paid for the season pass.
it's
Um,
a lot.
you get one stage and 3 costumes, and yeah, you're supporting. My problem isn't that because like it's kind of like the compendium thing in League of Legends where you're supporting or Dota, you're supporting the Pro Tour. You're buffing the prize pot, and I understand that. My issue is like the premium costumes costing fucking £3.69, which I don't know. That's like what, $5, something like that.
In Japan, it's 400 yen, so it's about
It's $4 then,
four
right?
dollars, yeah, $3.80,
For
some shit like
one
that.
for one costume. Like you could get a whole pack of like 4 costumes for that in Ultra.
Well, yeah, exactly. In Ultra, you just had a pack for like a good like 12 characters, and you
Yeah,
paid like whatever, not $4 per
10
costume.
maybe,
Yeah.
like $10 for the whole pack. I think the pricing's ridiculous. I think they're completely out of touch with what people want and how people want to consume things. Yes, I understand that you can get it for free with fight money, but like
Not all of them. Not all of them.
some of you can't. You're right. Some
Yeah.
of them you can't. Yeah, in fact, the premium costumes you can't at all because they're premium. You can only buy them. I just think the pricing is really out of touch, and it's one of the. I've been pretty supportive of Capcom throughout the life of Street Fighter Five.
It's not a money
so
issue. Like I want to set that straight with a lot of people. At least for me, and at least for a lot of people that I talk to personally, like it's not really like we can't afford this or we don't want to spend the money on this. It's more of a principle. It's like
it's just a fucking ridiculous price point for a fucking costume.
because it's going to continue like this. It's not like
dumb.
yeah.
It's dumb. Like I don't want to end up spending 300 quid on this game. Like that's ludicrous. And I know I don't have to buy the costumes and what have you, but like it's like
Isn't there a part of you that wants to support it? Like you want to?
I have supported. I've bought tons of shit. Like
Sure,
I've bought
yeah.
all stages. I've bought most of the premium colors. I've bought all of the battle costumes. I've also got the season pass. I bought the Capcom Pro Tour pack, so I've spent a lot of money on it. I bought a lot of merchandise as well when I was at EVE. I've got no problem supporting stuff, but my issue is I just think they're out of touch with the price point when it comes to the market. It almost feels like they're subsidizing the fact that you can get certain stuff with in-game currency by making it up through charging for the premium content, this high price. And I don't like it. I don't think it's going to work long term, and I don't want to see it long term either. I don't like it at all.
I've been doing like a fair amount of research on like other games, like for example, like what's it called? Crowdfunded games and reception towards like when something bad happens with a certain company per se, and then let's say the company tries to fix it. Like how does the company approach it? It just feels that like with Capcom, a lot of people they're just like their voice or their complaints just get louder as more costumes come, as even though like technically on paper you could see like things are improving in terms of like content, right? But complaints should naturally be going down. Am I wrong? But they aren't. Yeah, and that's a huge issue, and I think it stems from trust. Absolutely, it stems from being able to trust.
Perception. You're right.
Yeah,
Exactly that.
yeah. And I personally believe that other people outside the FGC or whatever, like they see that this is the reception that Capcom's getting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's like how the reviews at the start were really important, which is why the single player content was really important, because the single player content gives you good reviews. Good reviews bring in people that are not FGC hardcore players, lets them, feel comfortable buying something. And in the same way, if you have a good positive sentiment within the community, that radiates outwards, and then people come in and they will. That's why people give League of Legends a try however many years ago, because they hear so much about it. They're just hearing about it constantly. They're not hearing, oh, this is crap, this doesn't work, 8 frames of lag. Like the number of people that actually understand what 8 frames of lag means is minimal in the scheme of things. But things like that are getting out there, it's perception, it's negative, it's bad, it puts people off not trying, but dedicating as much time as maybe they would have done to something that they're then going to dedicate to something else. So yeah, I think, and I think they're trying. I think they're trying to correct things, but like it's clearly a weird system where you've got Japan and America sort of communication.
Oh, I mean, it's out there now.
Blah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a theory. It's fact. Like there is definitely miscommunication going on. The most I don't want to say the most recent case, but the most notable one is Sugiyama going on Topanga and giving an announcement about how 8 frames was intentional. And then Combo Fiend gave an interview talking about how the translation was misinterpreted. So then, like that's something that you should be talking about before you even go on any stream.
You need a company line. There needs to be a company line on something, and that sort of thing. I mean, even the release date on the story mode and the characters are every other month and what have you, and that sort of stuff. That was the big thing, the big blow up, wasn't it? The release of the characters.
And I mean, there's just a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of issues where people are definitely being a little bit too, they're being a little bit too picky. Like,
yes,
like for sure.
But that's what happens when you have this sort of negative cloud in the air.
Yeah.
People start being snarky and being overly critical. It's like, yes, this is my opportunity to criticize some more because I want to hate on this game. And those people come out and they kind of poison the water, and it just spreads a more of a negative sentiment around there.
Do you lurk around Reddit Street Fighter?
Street Fighter, no.
Yeah.
Arcapa, yes.
Of course you do.
I read Arcapa.
Yeah. So there was a very good post on it originated in Reddit Street Fighter, and then they actually made a post on the Capcom Unity one too. And it was a very long and detailed, lengthy post. And I do believe that the guy that created the post said that he worked in the Japanese translation gaming industry. And he said, like, okay, guys, this is what you guys are doing wrong. And let me tell you how the business works. And so, I mean, this guy could be bullshitting because I don't work in the game industry. I'm not a Japanese translator. So let's just assume that this guy is legit. Okay. So he said that one of the things that a lot of people are doing is that they're voicing their opinion in the wrong area. Like if you create a thread, like 8,000 threads about the same topic, it's going to get forgotten. The only way that things work in the translation community is if there is one source where they can see like a bunch of like issues that, are potentially there. And then once they see those issues, then they can direct them. But if there's 8,000 threads or whatever, like no one's ever going to look at that. That's just how it is, because as a translator, you have to take your time, and I mean, your time is limited, right? So you have to choose where is the easiest avenue to get information from. So this guy said that everyone needs to kind of collaborate in like one area, and also obviously the lingo that you use in order to voice your issue is very important as well. You can't say fuck Capcom or whatever, right? I mean,
the thing is, like,
they're not gonna like it for sure, but it's not constructive by any means,
In this day and age, I feel the onus is on the company to engage with the audience more so than anything else. And like, no one wants to see anything fail, obviously. But if it does fail, that's not our fault. We're just a consumer base, right? we're a consumer base. Their job is to sell something to us. If they don't successfully sell it to us, it fails. And I see that in other things that I do. Like I still play fucking Warhammer. And for years they didn't engage with their customer base at all. They turned off all their social media. They stopped their forums. They stopped taking. They stopped addressing any of the things that were wrong in the rule set. And very recently, they've turned that all around, and the groundswell of sentiment really positive and upbeat about it. And I feel like what you just said. I mean, if there's an echo chamber of people all saying the same thing, like 8 frames, 8 frames, 8 frames, 8 frames, 8 frames, that wasn't from one fucking source. That was just everyone saying 8 frames, and now it's kind of grown to a crescendo of reverberation that I think they're having to look at it. So yeah, in terms of like professional feedback and all that sort of stuff, then yeah, you need to go that Capcom Unity route, put everything in a nice thread that they can then translate and send back to their bosses and whatever. But you know what? If something's genuinely wrong and really bothers you, I feel it's the onus is on Capcom to identify that and hear what people are saying. They need to go out and make the effort to hear what people are saying. And if they're going to stay in Japan and only listen to the Japanese player base and not check what people are saying in terms of the forums and Twitter and all that sort of stuff, and the top players are saying,
that was also in an article as well.
That's kind of their fault, I think. Yeah. So, you have to recognize if loads of people are saying the same thing, then it needs to be addressed. Whether it's legitimate or not, it needs to be addressed. Like, you need to either come up with, and I go back to the 8 frame thing as another example. You need to either have a legitimate explanation of why it is like that, or you need to fix it. You can't just let it be out there and just like we don't even know we don't even know if it's intentional or not, because we've heard one thing say it's intentional. We've had another head from the same beast say, "Oh, that's been mistranslated." Mm-hmm. So, like, what is it? Is it intentional? Is the game balanced around that? It'd be interesting to know that, because if that's how we're meant to play it, then we can at least get on with that and know that it's done like that for this reason and that's that. If it's not, then what are you doing to fix it? What's happening? But either way, we need some sort of official word on things that are raised by the community as issues. And then we can just get on with enjoying the game, because the game's fucking fun.
I mean, that's a good point.
Tons of people are playing it.
We just want to get on and play it. That's a good point, but what stems from all this anger coming from the fans is that the lack of communication, right? So at least they have done something new. They have said that we will look at the issue. They've said that at least twice now, from what I've in different posts. So at least we have that. But when we have that with no date mentioned, but buy our costumes and buy this new stage, it's not
at premium prices as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's not outlandish to think like, oh, your fan base is gonna lash out at you. I didn't buy it, not because I don't want to support, because I support it enough so far, in my opinion. But I don't feel that it's an essential necessity, and it's definitely not going to help out my tournament performance or the time that I spend with the game. It's not going to be looking at a costume. It's going to be enjoying the game, and I do believe that there is some issues, and at least they said that they're going to look at it, but that doesn't really mean anything. It just means that in terms of communication with us, it feels that we're finally getting somewhere now. It's see
a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. Exactly. It's not the end journey, Like, it could be a fob off. Oh, we're looking at it. And that's fine. You just go back to buying the stuff, go back to buying the costumes.
Just imagine the day when it does get I'll just use the word fixed. When it gets patched, when
rebalanced.
There we go.
And Karin is top 1 in the world everywhere with a hit confirmable crouching medium kick into Tenko.
It's
superior sees huge damage output.
Just imagine like how many players will be rejoicing together, hugging each other's laptops or whatever, however they want to virtual hug each other.
Yeah, and you know what? The same players will still win. So
yeah, I mean, there's always that, but for now, I mean, it's never been about appeasing the top player. You know, it's always been like the other
But like,
players.
it's irrelevant to those other players because they're not losing because of 8 frames of lag. Like,
Sure, but top players don't make their voice as vocal as the other players.
yeah,
I think that's just an undeniable fact. Really, like most of the complaints are from people who never win a tournament. You know.
I had a really nice conversation with Forweed, who obviously does a lot of the stuff for display lag,
Yeah.
a lot of the tests, and we had a he's obviously been very vocal about his displeasure of the latency, the input latency in the game, the increased latency from 5.5 to what it was in Ultra to
If
like
there was ever anyone, it would be him.
to the high sevens of SF5. And he said, I enjoy the game. Like, I'm trying to love the game, but I feel like the way that I want to play, I can't play because of this. Like, and I don't want to put hours into something that I don't love. And I completely respect that position. If the game doesn't feel like that, in a way that you feel like you can get the most out of how you want to play it, then you know you do need to find something else, or you need to voice your displeasure. And I respect both instances, because if you're passionate enough to get on the internet and say eloquently what you don't like about something and why you don't like it and how it's negatively affecting your experience, you're clearly passionate enough to want to invest time and money into it. So, you know, I respect that. Anyone that says they don't enjoy the game for whatever reason, I respect that as well. And but the thing is, that's happened every time a game, as you transition from Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter 3, and you know, people saw like air parries and thought it was just the most stupid thing in the life. If I jump at you, it should be I should commit to this jump. Why am I able to, you know, parry your anti-air, or even like being able to air block, like in Alpha? Like, why can I block if I jump at you? It should be you know. And then you go from Third Strike to Street Fighter 4, and so many people didn't like that. You know, the game's so linear and boring. It's, you know, tap this, that, set play, whatever, blah blah blah. So slow.
If you don't mind,
You're always going to lose players and gain new ones. It's a turnover. It's a constant turnover for whatever reason. And I feel like they've done pretty well with Street Fighter 5, looking at the numbers.
I mean, let me stop you for 1 second. Like, there's something to be said about, if it's so hard to do something that should be simple in every Street Fighter, no matter what game that you play. And the thing I'm talking about is anti-airs. And
it's not anti-air in this game, man. I'm not hearing it.
Anti-airs or footsies. Anti-airs or footsies. Because when you're landing an anti-air consistently in Street Fighter 5, it's because they designed it for you to use it in that way. An anti-air jab, the reason why is it working? It's working because it's the fastest possible move that you can do, and guess what? They made it so that it could be an anti-air. So sure, you can anti-air with the characters that have those moves. Let's say, you know, it's just like if you're like a real boxer, a real fighter or something, like, you know, like there is just like, you're very comfortable up close or far away. It's just how it is. There's not a lot of ways that you can explain it. And Street Fighter I do believe it's the same way too. You pick a character because you feel this character's strengths fits you better. So for those players that are attached to that character or that play style, I do believe that it's not easy to anti-air with every single character. Even if you have like an invincible uppercut, like it's not always easy to anti-air. Footsies are like, they're more like these premeditated like footsies now. It's not really done on reaction, and I'll stand behind that. Like, I can suspect that you just threw me, and Alex, for example, is going to do a stand roundhouse, you know, and I'm like, okay, I guess I don't want to get hit by this, and I'm too far away to punish it on block. That's a situation. I'm not going to whiff punish it. I mean, okay, whiff punishing that on reaction is easy. That's a slow move, but
Yeah,
mid attacks for sure are not as easy as they were in other games.
you can't whiff punish Alex's crouch and medium punch, for example, on reaction. I refuse to believe that's possible.
Pretty hard. Stays out there for a while too.
But a lot of the things you said are showing that it's by design. Like, it's not an error. So they've put things in the game by design. to be played like that. You can anti-air. You have options. Like most characters have. You know, obviously we mentioned Bison earlier on in the show, not having access to that. In one of the betas, actually, Crouching Fierce was fast as shit. Don't know why they took it out.
Bison?
Yeah, really, really fucking quick. But yeah, characters that got DPs, like if you got DP, you should always be anti-air, and there's no excuse not to anti-air with DP. You can even do it last minute. It's impossible to like fuck that up unless it's human error. Most characters have got access to reliable anti-airs in this game, and it's by design. Most long range moves have got a shit ton of recovery on them as well. The issue there is you don't have
the right normal to whiff punish.
Yeah, you don't have quick medium range buttons to whiff punish into anything significant as well. Sure. And it does kind of become a thing of like, at this range, I think you're going to press this. So when I see you do something, I'm going to try and punish on reaction to you moving more than seeing the button come out. Because like you said, it's difficult to do. Yeah. My issue with rebalancing the input lag is it would be a completely different game, an entirely different game, if you change that. And at the moment,
Chun-Li will still be good. That's for sure.
Characters that are good will get better. Like Ken will be. Imagine like having an extra 2.5 frames to hit confirmed target combos, or crouching medium kick DP, or crouching medium kick super. You know, it'll be really, really good. Even if you do have an extra 2.5 frames to react to run stuff, but run stuff people do maybe like once a round, like unless you play in NorCal. But yeah, so the characters that are good will get better because they already have good tools.
I think they'll stay good. I think they'll stay good is the best way to put it. I think Ken could suffer a little bit because punishing V skill might be much easier.
No one uses V skill.
They just manual dash in.
It's like it's there out. No, I'm not saying like never use V skill, but like the reason why people are not reacting to V skill is because the Ken players are doing 7 other things in the round in that same situation, and you're hypnotized into not reacting to it. It's not because of lag. It's because you're looking for fireball, you're looking for dash throw, you're looking for roundhouse, you're looking for walk forward medium kick target combo, you're looking for dash up back medium punch target combo, you're looking for jump fierce, you're looking for jump tatsu, you're looking for EX tatsu in the air as well. All these things, and when they throw in a crouch and medium punch run cancel, you're like, oh shit, I couldn't react to that. It's not because of the lag, it's because of everything else that is shown that you can't react to. Because people are, when people abuse run, we're seeing people get punished heavily for it. So I think it will just put people off using run, and Ken will have to use other options. And run isn't why he's good. He's good because he can hit confirm stuff from far away. He can keep you under pressure at 2 or 3 different instances, even if you block. What would be interesting to see is if they change the input latency, how it affects scramble situations, how it affects the side switch resets, which a lot of characters get a lot off of, whether you'd be able to react to those and block more reliably.
I was having a conversation about this with who was it? Probably Air or something, and he was like, "I'm just not going to play this game right now. Like, I'm just going to wait for
that's
the
what
game to be fixed."
That's what Forward was saying.
And then I was like, "Well, if you wait for it, and then it comes, and then you're like, well, that didn't fix anything." Because specifically, I was like, "What are you waiting for? Like, are you waiting for them to fix both wake ups, like regular recover and back recovery?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for 8 frames to get to be gone so that you can do perfectly timed meaties? Like what are you waiting for?" And it was mainly because I was like, you could just pick your character now. There's the 2 5-frame difference between the wake ups are going to exist no matter what. So like it doesn't matter if it's 8 frames or not. And also like if Nakali hitting you out with the 3-frame move is still going to exist with 8 frames or not, So it's not like after this is done, all your issues that you supposedly have with the game are going to be gone. They're still going to be there. And so I just said, like, you just play the game now, and then when you find your character, have fun, because he somehow Ryu's not his character, but I kind of get it, whatever. So I just said, just play the game. Don't put all your eggs into this, whatever the term is, eggs into the basket, whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Eggs
yeah.
into something, right? Like,
Eggs in one basket is the term. Yeah.
there we go. Like, you can still, because I think he's like putting himself into a corner, and a lot of people are doing that. They're
Mm.
saying 8 frames this, 8 frames that, even when it's not relevant. Like,
Mm.
my advice is, if you truly love the game, then cool, have fun. If you want to stick around, just wait for a new character, play new characters. Don't take it so seriously, and don't blame one thing for many for whatever you don't
I
like about the
very
game.
much agree with that. It's
Yeah.
kind of become a mantra of excuses, and you end up becoming like in two camps of, 8 frames stops me from playing the game, and you're using 8 frames as an excuse. And I feel like, we're seeing the same players that were great in 4 be very good in this game. So it's clearly, an issue of understanding how the game is meant to be played, breaking that down, finding the most effective strategy, and just grinding it out. Working really hard and learning your matchups, getting your setups tight. None of that stuff really. I don't really see Infiltration, Momochi, Fudo, Tokido. I don't really see their playstyle hindered by 8 frames as opposed to 5.5.
I think
right?
rather they adapted. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
they knew this is how the game was going to be, and they played to win. So.
And all of them using different characters as well. They're all using very good characters, but they're all using different characters, and playing in ways which either take advantage of it or circumnavigate it. They're getting results, and that's what it is. It's a results led thing. The best player will still win, as we're seeing. The same top players are still the same top. Justin Wong is still the best player in the US, as he has been for like the last decade. Nothing new there. He's still working the hardest. He's still, playing the most solid, and the same players are winning that were winning before from Japan, and the rest of Asia. Xian's still godlike.
There was one thing that I was commenting on at G League, promo code G League 2016. Offer ends July 16th. No, July 11th. Whatever.
It's ended.
Fuck. Vertigear. Where was I going with this?
There was something commentated on G League. Offer ends July 16th.
Isn't it kind of cool that the Topanga crew has this like camaraderie? Like, how are you going to beat these guys? I think it's pretty simple. You just need to find a couple people that have the same passion as you do, invite them over to your house, and grind out situations are not difficult to realize or figure out.
So I can't remember who it was, but I know a group of Japanese players, and I think it was Ryan Hart that told me this. When they play, no, it was Infiltration and Xian. When they play, they just play. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. They train on stand-up only.
They live. Okay, all right.
No, they're just playing stand-up only. They're playing neutral. So if someone gets a knockdown, they let the other player get up, and they just go back to playing again. Because you know your setups. That's the stuff you do on your own, right? Your meaty setups, your mix-ups on knockdown after every situation is for you to train on your own to get the timing down for those perfectly, so that you have all your options to cycle through.
Wait,
when you play people in game,
Infiltration and CN telling you this, or who's telling you this? Or Reinhardt's telling you?
Ryan said this about Infiltration.
Okay, I see.
And information that you get from people that you're playing in competitive situations is only relevant then. So you're not learning anything in terms of people's habits in certain wake-up situations when you're training with people. Like, you should know what options beat what anyway. Right? What you are learning is the matchup in neutral. So what they do is they grind out the neutral. They allow each other to get up and get back to playing that. And that's what I think this game's the most about. It's about being in control of that spacing so that you can get the knockdown and then run your shit on the next person. Because if you're not strong here, it's so easy to be reset back into that situation when you have the 3 wake-up options.
Right.
It's so, and throw techs, put you back at that situation. If you try and do a meaty on quick rise and they back roll, you're back in that situation. There's so many ways to get back. It's kind of like an ultra with delayed wake up and how it made Bison and Boxer a little bit more viable because they went back to neutral and they were strong in that position. Didn't make them top tier, but it made them a bit more viable because it was in a situation that's more strong for them. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that they're training like that, where they're just focusing on that. And you saw how strong Infiltration was in those situations in the Evo finals. You know, his choice of buttons, even anti-airing, he was anti-airing with like 4 or 5 different buttons against Fudo. It's totally range specific.
LoganSama breaks down, reveals Japanese top secrets, not Japanese, Korean and Asian top secrets on how to train. Be a champ today. Listen to the Jumping Podcast, episode 10.
But yeah, I just think, you know, like get people, train intelligently, work on things that you know you need to work on. Like you can work on setups yourself. You can steal them off YouTube. Setups are all over the fucking place now. It's 2016. Any jabroni that can count frames is putting together setups and uploading them immediately because they want, you know, they want to get a few retweets or some shit. You can find that all online. Just drill that stuff. Like consider it like combo training. The real stuff is learning the matchups. Play that neutral game. Learn what you can do. Like you said, it's hard to whiff punish on reaction. That means you need to understand what the other player wants to do with their character at every different range in the game, so you can understand what they're going to be doing and what you can do to counteract that. And I think it's a great way of training. But the best way of training in general is to train offline with other people, because when you're playing online, it's cool. You can play long sets online with people and you intuitively learn things yourself. But to be able to turn around to the person next to you and go, you know, like, why did you do that? What can I do here? Oh, is that a safe jump? You know, is that a 3-frame meaty, or is it 4? What is it then? What are you doing here? Right. Ask them, you get the answer immediately, right? So it just saves a lot of the arbitrary work, and you just level up quicker and quicker and quicker, and you get better understanding of how the game plays. And I feel the more you can just get together with like-minded people and train, there's a reason why that's why other top players do that. That's why Justin was doing that in his house before Evo. It's why the Topanga house is great. It's why you're seeing Eita and MOV and Raiketsu and that training together in the house. It's why you've got, you know, Info and Xian training together when they can. It's why we had so much success in the UK and London over other regions, because we had such a great community of people that were playing offline together in the same place, in the castle, as we called it.
Well, I mean, there's also like when you train next to someone and you see them like on a regular basis, like even if you don't necessarily talk to that person about like normal life stuff, like you guys are in fact a team. You guys are making each other better. Yeah. You know, like that can be made anywhere. It doesn't matter if you think your community is small. You know, like I don't want this to be like a little promotion thing on how to make your community or whatever. I spent a lot of time
with the Utah guys, with Gustavo and Renzo and Andy, Scott, and those guys from the 801.
I mean, they're not an official team, but I guarantee you they believe they're a team. You know.
Yeah. So, you know, it's you wouldn't think like that's the hub of fighting game. They have a community. They train together. They travel together, and you know, foster that in your area. Find like-minded players. Link up. Make the drive, even if it's like an hour-long drive. Like just arrange a day, a couple of times a month. All sit down together and, you know, crack session it out all through the night. You know, and use your brains. Don't just play mindlessly looking to beat each other.
Sure.
When you're playing in those sessions, play to learn. Play to understand. Ask questions. Answer questions. Don't just think on like, oh, I won this 1st to 5 set. You know, that's irrelevant. Save that for the tournament.
Even better is if you have a common goal.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. Work together. You're meant to be training together, so work together. And I guarantee, if you do that regularly, you'll see an improvement.
Yeah. What Topanga is doing, their gamer house or whatever you want to call it, they're training together. It's just something that we can all be doing, and if we all do it, we will all get to that level. We will surpass that level, even, you know. Like there's nothing to say in this game. Like Tompi lost to a really good Vega. I have no idea. I think he was from Europe though. That's all I know. And these guys, like they grinded with other people. I guarantee it. They grinded with other people in order to reach that point. And there's nothing to say that like so far, Infiltration hasn't lost to any randoms at all.
Mm.
He's a rarity so far, but everyone so far has lost to someone. It's not luck; it's the time that you put with this crew that you trained with. So uh, I'm just trying to say that like everyone should meet together at offline sessions, become strong together, and also I don't think that Topanga is like so unique in that they're like the strongest in the world. I just believe that they are doing something that is like in my mind common sense, and other people should be doing it as well.
Mm.
And then people will be talking about you guys, like if that's what you want, Word.
It's a good point to end it, I think.
I believe so.
Uplifting, motivational.
See here. What are our usual things here? So, youtube.com/c/thejumpin, all one word. Please subscribe to our channel. I know we haven't uploaded in a while, but it's going to happen. We're back. Check out the episode with Kenny Omega. That's our most recent one. Check out this one also on iTunes. Subscribe to us, and also on SoundCloud.
What do I need to search for on iTunes?
You just open up iTunes, put in the Jump In Podcast. That's all I know. I'll provide a link though. Just go to our Twitter, the Jump In. I think it's just the Jump In, one word as well. And then I'll
the Jump In.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description for iTunes, SoundCloud, and everything else, so you guys get easy access there.
If you guys are listening right now on SoundCloud or iTunes, you can actually watch us talk this rubbish if you want on YouTube.
You can see my washing machine over there.
There. Utility cupboards there with like cleaning products.
Which one? Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Over there.
What is that?
Well, that's my Vitamix.
Scrubbing brushes.
Vitamix, yes.
Is that for your PEDs? Okay.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I have fish oil. It's
fish oil, yeah.
I'm not gonna get banded or whatever. Just like how Lapchi accused infiltration. If you've been keeping up with the FCC.
Lapchi looked kind of swole at Eva. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you trying to say something about his workout regimen, huh?
He may have been taking some fish oil, man. I'm not sure. He's been dosing up on those omega-3s, man.
I'm trying to think of a Brock Lesnar, but a Vietnamese kind of name for him. Brock Nguyen doesn't work. But yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you guys real soon. I'm gonna make a new recording.
We're back
soon,
We're
right?
Back.
Logan? Yeah.
We're back.
Oh yeah. Catch you guys later. Peace.